Hey guys, welcome to your lecture on basic data types. We're just going to have a quick and short lecture because we do have our midterm next week. So I am going to be posting a review of what you need to know, so don't worry. But this is going to be our last topic that is going to be covered on the midterm. So we are going to be talking about basic data types, primitive and reference types. We have talked about them a little bit in the past, but we are just going to go into a bit more detail. And again, please complete the pre-quiz before getting into this lecture. There will also be a post-quiz, so don't forget about that. And yeah, these are really important. I use them all the time. It's really necessary and important to know the differences between them. So let's get started. Oops. So let's talk about some variables. Variables reserved memory locations to store values. So when you create a variable, you're going to reserve some space in memory that's going to store, let's say, integers or doubles that are decimals or characters or some type of value. So they are really important. That's where you're going to store everything that you're going to use in your program. So there are two types of data types. We have primitive data types and reference and object data types. Those are one. So we have talked about primitive data types. So if you want to pause the video, try and see if you can remember the 8 data types. Now this is really important, aka hint for the midterm. Could be seen on there. Just putting it out there. So see if you can write down the 8 primitive data types and maybe try and give an example with them. All right, let's look into them. So we have a byte, short, int, long, float, double, and Boolean and char. So a little bit more about these with main popular ones. We have an int, which is an integer. So that's going to be like 1, 2, 3, -1, -10, any kind of number without a decimal. Double is also very popular. That's going to be with decimals, so 10.8, 10.2, 1.1. All of those numbers. A char is a character, so like letters, A, B, a plus sign, a minus sign, some kind of anything that's really not a number is a char. We also have, what else is really popular? Boolean is true or false. So is the value this? Yes. Is it not? No. Kind of that kind of area. So those are the main ones that you really need to know. With byte, short, long, and float, you won't really be using them, but it is good to understand what they are and know that they're a part of the primitive data types. So reference data types are created using defined constructors of classes. Once they're declared to be a specific type, they cannot be changed. And they also start with a default value of null. So these are values that you create like outside of a program, and then you set it equal to 5, and then it's going to be equal to 5 for the entire program, and you're not changing it. So let's talk about some Java literals. So these are some sequences that you can type in to create for here. For example, you have \n. So if you type this in a print statement, in the quotation marks, it's going to do a new line. It won't actually print the \n. It's going to print a new line instead. Same with the \b, which will be a backspace. \s is a space. \t is a tab. Then you can do double quote, single quote, and \. So why do you think it'd be important that we need to be able to print out these double quotes, these ones right here? Why would you think that? If you could write down your answer and submit that file at the end of the lecture, that'd be great. So the answer is, with the double quotes, when you do a double quote in a print statement, what does that do? That tells the program anything in between these quotation marks I want to be printed when I run my program. So you can't actually print a quotation marks without using the / quotation marks. So that's really, really important to know. So this is the end of the video. Like I said, it's just quick and short. We did define a variable. We talked about the 2 basic data types, the primitive data types and reference and object data types. And then we also talked about some Java literals. So now could you please complete the post-exam or post-lecture quiz? That'd be great. And also make sure to look over the midterm review. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.